Hey Dabbers, and welcome back to another Dab 2000 video and another ranking video. And today I will be ranking all 6 seasons of Cobra Kai because the final part of season 6 just came out last week, and I decided to rank the seasons one more time, and then I'm going to be ranking the characters after this video. So stay tuned because Cobra Kai characters are coming back to be ranked again. This will be my second time ranking both of these. I don't think I'm going to do a ranking fights video this time because I think that it stays consistent. I mean, season 6 had good fights, but they weren't like outstanding like some of the fights in the later seasons. But yeah, so we got 6 seasons. Let's just get started. Coming in at number 6, I have Cobra Kai Season 2. So I definitely think this is my least favorite season. Just to make it clear for everyone, there's not a bad season of Cobra Kai. I feel like all the seasons are pretty good. You'll enjoy moments from some seasons and moments from other seasons. So even though that season 2 of this show is this low on the list at like my last place, it doesn't mean it's a horrible season. There's still like great fights. Like I think the finale is amazing with the school fight. I mean, that's just like one of the most iconic fights in the entire show. So definitely, I think that's like one of the standouts. But like, I feel like everyone's just like kind of like mean in this season. Like, they're not like likable because everyone's starting to turn evil because of Cobra Kai getting run over with Creed. Well, Johnny's still with it, but Kreese is there too, so it has like a mean streak to the entire season. And some of the characters aren't even likable. Like Miguel isn't likable for most of this season, and yeah, like it's just not that great. I just think this is definitely my least favorite of the seasons of Cobra Kai. Alright, coming in at number 5, I have Cobra Kai Season 3. So this is the 3rd season, right after this one, the 2nd season, so it's good. I like parts of this. Like, I really like the house fight again in the finale. Like, Cobra Kai had a great run of great finale fights, and they still do. I mean, there's just some amazing fights, like if it's in a school or it's in someone's house. It's just really good. And I also like how like Cobra Kai was the main villain in this season. Like, it was just like you knew that they were the villain of this season. And I really like all the characters. I think you get more of that Daniel and Johnny relationship in this season. So you get more of their banter, more of their faults and their positives and all that fun stuff. And I think this is this is the season where the birth of Eagle Fang happened. It didn't live that long, but it's my favorite dojo. I even have, this is the only Cobra Kai shirt I have is Eagle Fang because Eagle Fang is the best dojo. I also have this Cobra Kai bandana on my head, so I guess I have 2 things I'm wearing on. 2 different dojos. But yeah, I thought this season was good. There's like some meandering plots, like Daniel goes to Japan for like a couple, like for an episode or 2, and it's just kind of weird. You get Chosen in this season, which is one of the best characters in Cobra Kai. He's just, once he's introduced, it's just really good. I really like Chosen's character. And I have rewatched all the seasons, so like this is a fresh view. I rewatched all the seasons in prep for Cobra Kai Season 6. So it was before Part 1 came out. So me and Junior watched all of Cobra Kai again just to get prepared for Season 6. So I am prepared to talk about Cobra Kai. So yeah, I think Season 3 is pretty good right here. Alright, coming in at number 4, I have Cobra Kai Season 6. So this is the newest season that just came out, and they split it up into 3 parts. I don't know how I feel about they splitting up into 3 parts. They had like each part, well, the first 2 parts had one great cliffhanger to get you excited for the next part. Like the first part had Tori going to Cobra Kai. Part 2, Quan dies, and then the 3rd part has like the best, like the satisfying ending to the show. So I feel like that's one of my positives because part 3 of Cobra Kai season 6 is definitely the best part of the 3 parts because I feel like it has more of a great story and it has a lot of twists, like good twists that you weren't expecting. And I feel like it ends so satisfyingly with Johnny's arc at the end of it. And it just makes sense in my mind, and it just was a perfect ending for the show. But it's this low because part 1 really, really is not great. Like, it's basically just side quests for 3 of the episodes. Like, literally, Kreese goes into a cave and hallucinates and, like, kills a snake with a knife. Like, what is happening? Like, this is not Cobra Kai. So part 1 is not that great. I like part 2. I don't think it's as strong as part 3, because I think part 3 definitely carries this season. But part 2 is good. There's some parts, like Daniel gets kidnapped mid-season in part 2, which makes no sense. It's just hilarious. The Terry Silver twist is good. I'm glad they brought him back because you gotta wrap up everyone's story. And I liked in part 3 that Kreese and Silver go at it on a boat and they both die on the boat because it just explodes. That's kind of the fun of Cobra Kai because they could do this insane stuff and I'll be on board with it. But yeah, I don't think it's better than the top 3 seasons in my mind because part 1 is really not that good. And part 2 is better. It's still good. I give it like an 8 out of 10. I think part 2 is pretty good. But it's just not like... It's got a lot more surprises than... like, it has like Quan dying at the end of it and stuff like that. So it's got some surprising stuff. Even the all-out brawl at the end of part 2 was really good. But part 3 definitely carries this season. So... I just don't think it's as consistent as all the top 3 seasons. Alright, coming out at number 3, I have Cobra Kai Season 1. The season that started it all. This is it's really good. It got me hooked, me and Junior, because we watched the first episode and we were like, yeah, this is great. Like, they tied in all the Karate Kid movies into the season. They got, like, all the characters. So... I think this is a great start. It's got like all the it's so weird to see like them at their starting point to how they end. Like their character arcs are completely different, and they all look really young in this season. So it's kind of funny watching them progress through like a couple hour period if you're been watching it. But yeah, I think this is great. I like how. Like Cobra Kai changes people's lives because like Miguel was one of the like sweet characters and like wouldn't do anything evil, and then you see progressively through season 1 and he turns into like this jerk at the end of it, being mean to Sam, bullying people, and yeah, it was just like it's what started it all. It got me hooked. It got me being a Cobra Kai fan, and it's just a really good first season. Alright, coming out at number 2, I have Cobra Kai Season 4. So, this is a really good season. If you watch my ranking of seasons a couple years ago, I think it was in 2022, I had this one at 1, but rewatching them, it's still great. I just think the last, if you know which one is last, I think that one's better, but this is a really good season 2. This is the first season where Tori has, a great story, because in for the second season and third season she was just kind of like a jerk and didn't care what anyone was thinking. This was the season where it was like we get intro into her like story and why she's always mean to Sam and bullying Sam and stuff like that. So I feel like that progressives, and it has one of the biggest twists in my mind because the final fight, you think Daniel and Johnny are gonna go together into this tournament to defeat Cobra Kai, but they can't get along, so they split up, and then Johnny has his own team, Daniel has his other team, and they lose because they didn't work together. That was the main thing. That's why I like the progressive in like the final part of season 6, where they do work together, and they win. Well, kinda. Johnny wins. Daniel kind of gives up, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I think it was the biggest twist that Cobra Kai won in the end, and then Terry Silver, paid the refs and cheated to win. It was one of the most surprising things that ever happened in the show for me, because I was like, man, I did not see Cobra Kai winning. I thought Daniel or Johnny would win, but that didn't happen. And overall, I think the characters are really great in this one, and you see Robbie turn into Cobra Kai, which is just an interesting twist to everything, so I think Season 4 is really good. But at number 1, I have Cobra Kai Season 5. I know a lot of people think this season is not the best. Once I rewatched Season 5, I was like, I was wrong. I put it at number 2 on my last ranking. I was like, no, this is number 1. This is my favorite season of Cobra Kai. I feel like all the characters are more, I like how it's just we're bringing characters together. Robbie and Miguel were never friends of each other, and then they become friends in this season, so as Tori and Sam do that in this season. I also think the finale of this season is I think that is my favorite episode of Cobra Kai, is the finale of Season 5, because I like how they went, Johnny and Chosen went to Terry Silver's house, and then they sword fight at the end. It's crazy, but I love that finale. And then I think the final fight between Daniel and Silver was one of the most satisfying fights ever, when Daniel does the crane kick to defeat Terry Silver. I just thought that was just a perfect way to get Terry Silver out. And I feel like that was the end of Daniel's arc. I know he's in season 6 and stuff and still has an arc, but I feel like that's the definitive, this is his growth and this is his end of his story. So yeah, also it has a great end. If they ended it here, I would not be mad. But they made season 6, which has a really good ending too. But if they ended it with this season, I wouldn't even be mad either. So it has all the great character arcs. I love all the characters in this show, and I feel like this displays everything what I love about Cobra Kai. So that's why this season comes in at number 1. What did you guys think of my ranking of the seasons of Cobra Kai? Down below in the comment section, what's your favorite season of Cobra Kai? And I will check you guys on another Dab 2000 video and another ranking. Goodbye, Dabbers.